Welcome to Discover Indie Film. I'm Jeff Howard, and I'm very excited. Here across from me at the dining room table is Ari Flesch. Hey, Ari.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. All right, so your introduction is going to involve a little bit of personal information because so first of all, you're here because your film, it's not for me to say,
Right.
won at Film Invasion Los Angeles 2025 the Grand Jury Award for Best Short Film Animation.
Yep.
And the personal thing I mentioned is, I'm just going to say, normally when someone's coming over, especially if it's a short feature, maybe not, but I'll watch it again. But I watched your film last week when I was in Vancouver visiting my best friend and his wife with my wife, and they said... Sujay asked, actually Nina, his wife, said, we'd like to see a film from the last festival.
Oh.
And my wife selected yours.
Wow. That's an honor.
So
Thank
I
you.
watched it
Thank you,
again
wife.
in another country.
Okay. That's awesome. Is she an animated film lover, or she just liked that film, or why did she choose mine?
Actually, my wife is a huge fan of animation.
Okay.
She...
so it's not good. It's just animated.
Well,
just
so
kidding.
that was one of the better animated
I'm just
films.
kidding.
Yes, exactly. No, you're humble. I get it. You might as well be humble. I know. But anyhow, yeah. So I just watched it last week.
Okay.
So I
Fresh on the
refreshed.
mind. Yep.
Yeah, and amusingly tonight. Well, anyway, but tonight when I read, your little log line about a lonely alien, it did me, like actually the last viewing more so than ever. Your alien's loneliness actually really did resonate for me a little more. I used to be, because anyway, I got to do your Q&A at the festival, which is cool.
Yep.
Because I'm not doing those anymore.
Oh.
I have been retired.
Like, how recently have you retired? Just like a month ago or something?
Yeah. After the last festival, after Film Invasion LA 2025.
Wow. I got the last interview?
You did.
One of the last interviews?
That was one of the last, because I used to do every Q&A when we were on one screen. Then we went to two screens, and I was doing half of them.
Right.
Now that we're on three screens at once, the staff just basically were like, we do a little debrief at the end, and they were like, yeah, there's too much going on at once. There's too many fires to put out. You can't just disappear into a theater for 2 hours and do Q&As.
Wow.
And I said, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Plus, I would not meet 2/3 of the people too, unless I was lucky enough. I got to meet at the opening night gala.
Yeah.
But
wow,
anyhow,
that sucks. But I'm glad that you did ours. I did
I
mine.
got
That
to
was
do
awesome.
yours. I'm glad you enjoyed it,
Yeah.
and it was a great screening.
Thank you.
And,
it was fun.
And an excellent film,
Thank you. Appreciate it.
which people cannot watch yet because you're still on the festival circuit.
Correct. Yeah. I think I can decide when to put it online, but I'm thinking there's a couple festivals that I want to wait for just because they're expensive to apply to. So I assume maybe early next year I'll put it up online.
Exactly.
I think something like that.
And if you remember, feel free to fire off an email.
Oh, yeah.
And say, hey, it's up now.
Okay.
And we'll make it a clickable link in the show notes for anyone who listens to this. Because, of course, one of the cool things about the podcast is it just stays there forever.
Yeah,
It's it becomes a time capsule. So, when you're accepting an Oscar for Best Animated Short or something.
That'd be awesome.
And then people will be like, I'm going to Google their name. And then, boom, they'll listen to you when you're on the festival circuit.
Yeah. Well, that'd be amazing. But yeah, I'll definitely send it to you.
That would be amazing for a lot of reasons.
Yes, for sure.
But I would love to see that happen. So anyway, people can't watch it yet, which means we can jump right into the question of.
Right.
So as I recall from the Q&A, of course, writer, director, producer, and then you hired an animator. Yeah,
No, I'm the animator.
Oh, you're the animator.
I'm the animator.
Oh, he was the sound.
I had a couple people. Essentially, it's a free movie.
I wish I could. By the way, we're allowed to curse.
Okay.
Motherfucker, I can't believe I fucked up this early.
Yeah.
Damn it.
It's all
Why
good.
did I think you didn't animate it? Oh,
I'm a professional animator.
You're a professional animator.
Yes.
You animated the whole
I
darn
animate
thing.
for a living. That
It's
is literally
beautiful.
my job.
That explains why it's so good.
Thanks. But yeah, I hired myself. And then really it was just friends and favors. So it really didn't cost anything. I joke, but it's not really a joke, that literally the budget went to me buying my friend presents to keep making the film. He's the environment artist. So I bought him he has two cats, and I bought him like one of those litter boxes that like self-clean, and they walk
that's
into
a good
it.
gift.
Those are expensive. It was like $700 or more or something. It was like $750. That's one of many gifts I bought. So I've probably spent, maybe the budget was like $3,000 to $5,000 because that's how many things I got him. But honestly, it's like, I've told people that I did that, and they were like, "That's insane. Why would you buy him that much stuff?" If I were to have paid him, it would have cost like $250,000. Like it would have been ridiculous.
And you should just say your budget. Well, you should work in what your hours would have cost if you did it for somebody else.
Yeah, I mean both my hours and his hours, it would have been couple hundred, 300,000-400,000 at least. I mean, I don't know. I didn't track the hours, but it would have been a lot.
Which is why it's so freaking good.
Oh, thank you.
Well, but before we talk about, it's not for me to say, you want to go back to, were you a creative kid? Were you more about art and illustration? Were you always a storyteller? Because, I mean, you tell a great story in this, too. Like,
thanks.
Needless to say, we get a lot of submissions, and, like 700 to 800 per festival. And, there's sometimes things are wonderfully animated in the animation category.
Right.
That they didn't bother with the story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's just proof of ability.
Yeah.
But you did it all, yeah.
Yeah. I actually am like a weird non-animator's animator where I do it just to get it out. Like, I don't care about the art of animation as much as other people do. I do love it, but when I say that, I mean like the movement, I guess. I care more about the story, and I was a 3D artist learning 3D. I'm a 3D animator. And in order to make a movie, I can't be a 3D modeler because then nothing moves. I can't be a texture artist. I can't just draw the textures because then there's nothing. I can't just make environments because then there's no characters or cameras. Really, animation is the way to make a film, right? You can buy assets. I can buy a model. I could pay someone to make a chair or whatever. But if it doesn't move, if I can't do camera work and motion, there's nothing. So that's why I got into animation, to just make my own films. So I've always liked storytelling. And
always. So how early did it start? Like, were you a short story writer? Or?
No. Well, I'm writing short stories right now, actually. I'm writing a book of short stories for fun. I have 7 done. I just wrote the last one.
That's so cool to hear.
I just like doing different things.
Yeah. But you caught the bug as a kid?
Yeah,
so creative kid.
Little teaser, but
nice.
One of the questions is what's one of your favorite movies? But so I'll say it now. Jurassic Park is one of my favorite movies. I was 5 years old when I saw it in theaters because I saw it when it came out.
That would have been very cool.
And it was like the Star Wars of that generation, I think. So
easily,
to me,
it made something. I mean, nearly all children are fascinated with dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And then for them to come to life.
Yeah.
Visibly real. Visibly, I mean, that realistically.
Yeah.
It was epic.
For sure.
I was 25 and it was epic.
Yeah. Yeah. So I saw it in theaters and I thought it was real. Like, I didn't really understand. I was too young to get it. Like, I was like, how did this all work together? And it just was so mind-blowing that in my first grade, I remember this, that my first grade job, what do you want to do? I was paleontologist because of Jurassic Park. And then later it just became like wanting to get into art. And then, I think most kids draw. A lot of kids do. And so I just drew until I was like in high school. And then I was like, okay, what do I want to do? Some skill, right? You like? I don't think I'm that good in general about anything, and that's not me just being humble. I think what my skill is that I'm very driven, so I outwork people. I'm not the most talented, but I'm the most hardworking. So I brute forced my way into my skill that I have. So I was never the best 2D artist. I was like fine, like compared to people that don't draw, they would be like, "Oh my God, you're amazing." But it's all relative, you know?
So it's like in a high school art class.
Yeah, I might
weren't like
be
the
good.
Prodigy, but you were solid, and you might have been doing 10 times the work, or
yeah, I might have been good for someone that didn't try or someone didn't that didn't like pick it up, or but when you go to art school, now you're with people that do it, so you're in a different pool of people. Are you still good when you're compared to people that draw that also want to do it for a living?
And by the way, I didn't ask where you grew up.
I'm from Chicago. I'm from the suburbs of Chicago.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So was my partner's family.
Oh,
Go
okay.
figure, yeah.
I'm from Skokie, so I just don't say the name because I don't know if people know it. But
I've heard of it, but
northern
I don't.
suburb. I don't know
They're,
where
they're
she's
in the
from.
northern suburbs too,
Okay.
but I can't remember.
Do you know where she's from, or do you not want to say?
Is Northbrook a neighborhood?
Yeah, that's not far from me.
I think they're Northbrook.
Yeah.
I'm
close.
almost tempted to shout because she did just walk past you.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I no, we'll pretend.
Well, we'll do a separate
pretend
podcast
she's not
about
here.
her,
Yeah, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Northbrook.
Yeah, it's really close. That's like 10
Yeah.
minutes or something.
Yeah, Chicago's fantastic.
Yeah.
Love Chicago.
Yeah,
All right, so
me
you're growing
too.
up in Chicago,
Yes.
which is a wonderful place and not drowning in the industry either.
No, there's no industry there. So when I was 17, I was like, I'm going to go to the Academy of Art. You know, I want to.
Right. So
I don't know.
for college, you were
I
definitely.
was
art school.
I was already like dead set on like doing art. I didn't know what. I took like a 2-week course on 3D at some, like maybe the Art Institute or something. Like I think I was 16. So it was literally just like, how do you use, it's called 3ds Max. That's a program. I don't use that anymore, but I dabbled in it just a little bit just to see. Asked my mom to pay for it and take me there. So, but then I was like, I want to do the Academy of Art because they don't require a SAT. So I was like, I'll do that. So I did the ACT just to do it because I had to. And they didn't require an ACT. So I did it anyways. I thankfully didn't get a terrible grade because I ended up not going to that school and going to like a quote unquote real school. I went to DePaul. It's like a business school, but they have a media
Isn't
wing.
DePaul like right there in Lincoln Park or something?
Yeah, that's where I went.
Oh, that's the.
Super nice area. Yeah.
Now I'm just going to share a personal fact, which is
Sure.
when we visit family in Chicago,
You go
we always
there?
get an Airbnb in Lincoln Park.
Okay.
And I always was telling our kid, I'm like, you should really you got to apply to DePaul.
It's so awesome.
Like,
At least
can
the
you
area.
imagine being in this area for college? It must have been amazing to go there.
I'm from there, so all my friends, I had a bunch of friends there, and like I love that area. So, yeah, I'm a big supporter. Like I love it.
Way to go,
Yeah.
DePaul.
Yeah. So they had a animation degree. I didn't know. I mean, I ended up finding that out.
So you went in like general undeclared?
No, I
you
went
chose
in.
animation.
I didn't know right away. I ended up choosing it like right before I applied and stuff. I applied to a few schools, USC, didn't get in. That was my number one because I was like, directing. I'm glad I didn't do that because it's just more niche, I guess. It's harder to find a job, I think, I'm a just director. Also, the reason I got into animation is because a lot of my ideas are just, you can't film them on a budget. You just can't do it. Maybe if you had 50 mil or 100 or, studios, whatever, then you're director, you could do whatever, but without any money, you can make drama or you could maybe whatever, you get it.
No.
So,
There's a reason why a lot of student films are two people in a room.
yeah, they're in a forest or they're in an apartment. Those are like the two classic things,
Exterior day.
Yeah.
Two actors.
Yeah.
Camera on sticks.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, because it's practical.
And that doesn't appeal to me at all. Like
Right.
I don't care. Like it's just not something I want to make. I'll watch it maybe, but it does. I've never had ideas that were like, I'm not a character.
Right, and you're not a dialogue-y
Not
person.
really.
Because you, I mean, obviously it's not for me to say it's such a visual story. I mean, it's
Right.
total storytelling.
Yeah.
But wordless.
That's
or dialogueless.
Yeah, I mean that story doesn't need it for me. At least it didn't need it.
Yeah.
I've been writing as well, as I said, but so I've written a couple scripts and
That's why I said, yeah, you are verbally creative, or
yeah, I think
or
that some stories you
linguistically
need it.
creative.
I
don't
can
know which,
read and write and speak.
You took the ACT, you went
Yes,
to DePaul.
yeah.
You're not illiterate.
Yes,
for sure.
I'm not illiterate. I've proven that.
But I just meant that
I know what
your
you-
creativity
I'm
was fairly visual. It sounds like
Yeah, I just
early on at least. Yeah.
I just think that some of it's practical. It's not to get Also, stop me if you ever want to know more about 3D or animation in general. But
at some point you'll have to explain the differences.
I have a whole
as you
speech
evolve.
on animation and the whole 3D part. I've done
I'll
this.
take a nap and you just give the speech.
Well, it's really short,
Okay.
and it's interactive, kind of.
Nice.
But it's somewhat practical to not have dialogue in animation because a face rig to get it to move is as complex or more than the entire rest of the body.
Yeah.
So my character has a face rig, so I could have had dialogue, but other times if you see a 3D film, this is just something to keep in mind. If you see a 2D, it doesn't matter because you just draw whatever you want, but in 3D, you have technical steps to go through, hurdles. And if you see a 3D film that maybe doesn't have a face, maybe they have a mask, or maybe there's characters without faces, or things that just wouldn't speak, that's because it's literally just easier to do. And so they're like, okay, let's do this and then make it work, right? Like Toy Story is the first like big animated film. And why was it toys? Why didn't they do people? Because they couldn't render that. They couldn't do it. It looked weird. So they're like, we're going to make rubbery, shiny things because this is the cutting edge of what we have right now. So some of it's like the practical limitations like push you towards whatever you make. But this one, I just, I said, I could have done it. He's alone, he actually does speak a little bit. Like the sound guy added some like little sounds that he makes.
That's true.
I barely even heard it.
There are expressions.
Yeah, but he doesn't speak. That was just an intentional choice to have the music carry it. But I'm working on another short film. I'm starting it now, pre-production, and that will have dialogue. So I'm just going to do a quote-unquote full thing, production.
So you go to DePaul.
Anyways, I go to DePaul.
on and
Yes.
and you decide before you get there, you find out they have an animation department, and you're like,
Yes.
I'm choosing that.
Yes, and when I went there, most 3D artists don't know where they're going to go because even just saying 3D could mean anything. There's a lot of different jobs. And this is when I could tell you what animation is, because like a lot of people would ask me like, "What do you do? Like, do you draw them? Like, what does that even mean?" So I compare it to a puppet show. So a real puppet show, if you were to go watch one, so there would be a person that built the puppet out of wood. There would be a person that drew the face on. There would be a person that strung it up with a string. There'd be a person that like lit it with lights. There'd be a person that did the backgrounds and painted it. Those are all individual jobs, modeler, textures, environment art, lighter, compositor. Compositor doesn't have a correlation to this, but there's the puppeteer that they just get a puppet and they move it. That's it. That's an animator. So I get a digital puppet and I just move it. And then you you save poses. And it's in the program. There's different programs that let you animate, but you essentially make poses. So obviously you can't see what I'm doing, but if I hold a cup down, that's one pose. If I hold the cup to my face, that's a second pose. The interpolation is automatic in 3D. I don't have to draw. I don't have to
You don't have to go frame by frame.
You don't have to do frame by frame. And obviously if you draw it, you get nothing for free. You have to do everything. But in 3D, I can say pose A and pose B, and then if they're 10 frames apart, that interpolation happens for free. It always looks bad because it's linear. So it would be like me doing this in linear without any...
Yeah, there's no arcs.
There's no arcs, there's no anticipation,
Right.
there's no
musculature.
Yeah, and everything moves at the same time. That's the art of animation, is moving things and making it feel fluid because, you can't just like hit one... You can't just do like 2 drawings and have something look good. You have to do like 15 or 20 to get that motion to look right, like the drinking of a glass. So back to DePaul, I was like, you do everything. You learn a little bit of everything. And I was like, I'm the best at animation, and it unlocks me to make stuff. That was always my goal. What can unlock me to make my own?
Right, because you want to tell stories.
Yeah, I didn't care about other animators. So I'm an animator professionally, and so I work with animators, and a lot of them love the art of animation. So when they make something, they make the equivalent of a sculpture. So they don't have a story. They might animate someone like a dialogue scene where it's just 10 seconds. It's from a film, and they animate on top, and they animate to that scene. Or they animate a fight scene that's 10 to 20 seconds long. What's the story? The story is they're fighting. There's no story. It's just to show how good of an animator are you, / they love the process. I don't like that. That to me is just a means to an end of telling a story.
Yeah, those are the ones I shat on earlier.
Yeah.
The ones that look great and don't have a story, and it's like,
it's a different goal.
Look really good, yeah.
It's a different goal because, like, I'm a production artist, so in order to be part of a production, you have to be able to do that role really well, and those people thrive, like in that role. Like they can execute something.
It's an amazing
but it's someone else's
skill.
story. It's someone else's
amazing
story.
skill, but
yes.
They have to do it in service.
Yes, You're working for someone. We're working for that film, and we're making it come alive. But that to me was like fun job. But on the side, I want to do my own stuff, which is what I'm doing now. But yeah, so
did you get to do Did you experience the 3D that interpolation before DePaul, or like was it there where was it like just an amazing moment in your life when you had the 2 frames and then it filled in and you got the free animation in between and you were like, oh my God, what, like I just found the world's best hammer or something?
Yeah, I think I did that one like week and a half, 2-week class when I was like 16. That's the first time I ever animated, ever. Minus like maybe a flip book for fun or something. But yeah, that was the first time I saw free animation, and I was like, well, this is really cool. But I didn't make anything. I just make cubes and they're called primitives, cone, sphere, cube, moving, right? Like it's nothing. It's just because you're so young and you don't know how to do anything, you're just moving things around. But yeah, when you get to a school and you start learning from teachers and for longer periods, it does save a lot of time. I mean, there's a reason why 2D is like, it's not dead at all. And I actually prefer watching 2D animation. I'm kind of like, that's what I like more than even 3D, which is what I do myself. But 3D just happens to be easier. Once you've achieved the steps, the rig is done, the character's done. Once it's all done, you have your puppet, then it's easier. Getting there is harder, so it's more upfront work. Versus if you want to animate in 2D, you can just do it right now. You can just draw it. You don't have to get someone to rig for you or model for you. You can do it all yourself. But it's tedious. So it's a big trade-off. But that's why most things now are 3D, because it's cheaper, and I guess that's the trend.
That is interesting, because I think to a lay person, you might think that it's just 3D dominates. Actually, I think a layperson, I might think even before this conversation that the reason we have less 2D is, well, it's just less.
It's not as interesting visually. Okay.
But I would actually assume might have assumed it was cheaper.
2D?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
no, it's way more expensive.
Way more.
Yeah, so that's why Disney stopped doing 2D films. That's the
Financial
movie business,
decision,
and they're like, this doesn't make money. Like, we're not making money.
Whereas you still get stuff out of Japan and other places that are hand drawn.
There's a different culture, and they like care about the art form that kind of takes away. Also, they underpay people, so that's a big part of it that kind of goes unsaid. But you don't want to work. That's a dream for a lot of people to be like, oh, I want to work on an anime. I want to do 2D on anime because they grow up with it and stuff. But like, if you look up like what it is to be an animator on these shows, it's like, oh my God.
Like you might do a little better at Starbucks. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's not worth it. It's
As
just
I recall,
not worth it. Which sucks because I love that stuff.
Right?
I love
early years of The Simpsons. I think like it was even like all done animated in Korea or something.
So they call it tweening or in-betweening. So we're getting into the art of animation. Remember I said that...
Feel free, but we will go back to your personal story.
Well, this is part of it in a way, tangentially. But the key poses are the poses that define the movement. The points that define a triangle are the bottom 2 and the top 1. Without those, you don't get a triangle, right? That's the key poses, the key points. Without it, it just doesn't work. It doesn't even make sense. So the key poses for drinking a glass would be away from your face, at your face, and then maybe like open your mouth and then tilt it up, right? You don't need the 15 poses of your arm going from your bottom of the table to your face. They're less important. They're still important, but they're less important. Those are the in-between poses, they're called. This is all made up, right? Like they're all the same, right? They're all frames, but to break it down, those are key poses versus non. And so an animator might do the key poses. They'll draw those big gaps with key poses, and then they'll send it off to another company to do the bulk of the rest, because we've kind of defined it for you. You don't have to think about it. All you have to do is put them where I tell you. So if you look at like a sheet, there's like an animation sheet. I forget the name of it right now, but sorry, I'm moving around. But it'll tell you where the key poses go in time, and then how many drawings in between them. So it'll say like, do 7 drawings from the bottom of the table, or from the table to my face, and then put like 2 near the table and put 2 near my face. So it'll like feel like smooth versus like all equally spaced. Spacing and timing are the two of the main principles of animation. So that's how they save money, because they're like, we'll get the pro in-house animator to do the key poses, and then we'll outsource stuff.
Go to somewhere where we don't have to
pay people less. So that's what's happening a lot now, is that there's a lot of outsourcing of just everything because it's cheaper. So money, as you know, in the film industry, the studios chase the discounts, right? They go to Atlanta. Why? Oh, they love Atlanta? No, they go because there's a discount. They go to Vancouver or Canada because Canada gives you money. And then when they stopped it, they come back. You know, Sony Animation closed.
Yeah, you can't give executives $10 million bonuses if you're not nickel and diming everyone at the bottom who's doing the actual work. Yeah, you have to.
Yes,
you got to nickel every.
It's crazy because I never worked at Sony Pictures Animation, but it was cheaper for them to shut down their business, their location, which housed like hundreds of people. It cost millions of dollars. It was cheaper for them to close that, build a whole new facility in Canada, than to stay because of the discount to go to Canada. At the time, this was like a decade ago. So they did that, and then I think I remember hearing recently that they came back because those discounts were gone. It was cheaper for them to just come back. So it affects that's why the industries look the way they do, because you follow the money essentially, and then you see like, why is it done that way? And that's with everything, with all art, unless it's pure fine art. Fine art is like you just have a painting and you just do whatever you want. You know, you don't have it's not a lot of financial constraints on that. But making a film is harder, in my opinion, because you have more people involved and there's more different things to do. So even on my film, I had, there's financial constraints. Time is money. They're all constraints. So
you probably need to eat and have shelter.
Yes.
So
I just rambled on for a long time.
Your essential needs need to be met even while making your own film. Yeah, animating your own work.
Yeah, and I'm someone that likes to finish things, which sounds weird, but I know a lot of
a lot of people don't finish.
Yeah, it's really it is actually hard. It gets harder and harder to finish as you go. It actually gets more difficult somehow. I don't know why.
The closer you are to the finish line,
the closer you are,
the more hurdles there are.
Yeah, the more your legs like get stiff and you can't move anymore. I don't know what it is, but you would think that there'd be more momentum, but for me, it feels the opposite. It's like easier at the beginning. There's like the honeymoon phase of like, we're gonna do anything. It'd be amazing. And then when, you make it, and you're like, oh Jesus, this is like hard. And then it gets harder and harder because it's more and more tedious near the end. So I like to finish what I start, but it means it just takes a while versus starting a new thing. And
needless to say, I would think most people listening, because most people who listen to this are filmmakers or into film, and like everyone's well aware of how many unfinished projects are.
I mean, I have them too.
On hard drives all over the planet. I mean,
for sure.
In fact, that was one of the. Someday, someone will write a book about the COVID Renaissance. How so many people during COVID, during lockdown, went down and found. And I literally talked to someone few weeks ago who the whole reason his film happened is because during COVID he found an old hard drive that had footage on it and said, suddenly thought of a new way to cut it into something completely different.
Okay.
But anyway.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's very cool. All of a sudden, look what happens when people are
the constraint of COVID and time. Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Not all those things we couldn't do. All of a sudden, we could focus on art a little more.
Yeah,
yeah. That's. Don't want another pandemic. Though.
It was great for me. It was actually really good, which sucks
Me too,
to say.
actually.
It sucks to say it because it was bad for many people, and it was bad for me in some ways. But it did give me the time to make more things. So yeah, that was the silver lining.
All right. So, anything notable before you graduate college? Any notable?
Not really. I mean,
but you have a good experience, and
it was good, but it was not a good program. And that's not me dissing DePaul at all. Like, the program now is very good. But, multiple faculty members told me, like, I'm still close with some of them. And they were like, yeah, I was the second class to go. So it was not ready.
It was a new program.
Super, super new. They didn't have a lot of, like, the things they do now, I'm, like, envious of. I'm like, wow, that sounds amazing. Like, it sounds really good now. But back then, I wasn't very good. So that's another thing that I think I do well, is that I'm maybe too hard on myself, but I'm aware of my level. I'm not like, I don't think I'm hot shit or anything. So I knew I wasn't very good. I could tell. You watch your reel. You make a demo reel. That's the thing you make. That's like your resume. You have a resume too, but the demo reel really is everything. And I would watch it and compare it, and I'd be like, yeah, this is not good. So I tried to make it work after in Chicago, and then I didn't because I wasn't very good. There's also just no work there. But even if there was work there, I wasn't ready. I wasn't good enough. So I decided to go to school again. So I moved to LA, went to visual school here, and then I got better, and then it started to go up, and then I started to get work.
Got it. So also besides being willing to work hard and stay at it, you also have a lot of determination because you gave yourself that negative assessment, and then you're like, and I'm going to pursue it further. You doubled down, and you moved halfway across the country to another coast.
Yeah. And I did the classic.
And re-enrolled back in school.
Yes.
Into a 3D program, or?
Yep, it was 2 year. It's not a master's. I don't have a master's, but in my opinion, it's the equivalent of going back for a master's. It's a really, really great school, and I just got really good there, and I've never lacked for work since. I've been working since. So
and you got that, and of course it was LA based, so it might have helped.
Yeah, being here in LA was like a huge thing. All the work I had was here. I knew I was gonna. That's why I wanted to go to USC, because I was like, oh, it's in LA. That's where the industry is. So I knew at some point I was gonna move here. And to be honest, the reason I didn't move right away was because I was just scared to do it alone. I was like, I'm scared. I don't want to. I don't know anyone. I ended up doing it anyways. I moved here without knowing a soul, and I just drove here, and I had all my stuff in my car. My mom, my sister drove with me. They wanted to come, so we did a road trip, and I was here in L.A., and then, struggling actor, but I'm not an actor, but
the struggling artist.
Right, struggling artist.
Starving artist, but
yes.
you knew you were going to enroll in that program?
I applied before. I applied in Chicago. And because I got in, I was like, okay,
that was your signal. So you didn't land here and then
no. I wanted something.
You didn't tread water for 3 months and then learn about this. But you came out for that program, and and being in LA helped, obviously.
Yeah, I came out because I wanted to. I was like, there's two things that I need to do. I need to get better and be here in LA. So I was like, okay, I'm going to apply to this school. I already knew about it. It's called Nomen. And then
I was going to ask, feel free to plug it.
I love
it's
Nomen.
A great program.
I love Nomen. Best decision I made for my career. So I went to Nomen and then stayed because I was like, okay, let's try to make it work. Same thing as in Chicago, but it was a combination of there's work here / I was good enough to do the work. But it was hard at first because I had no experience, and I just applied everywhere. I've done almost every type of job in the industry in general. Like I've been a PA, I've done editing.
All right, and not just the animation industry.
No,
the film
I was
industry.
literally on set as a PA, like getting coffees and sweeping and editing random stuff. I did like commercial work, and I was a intern twice, and then once I was in 3D, I've done everything. So I've done VR, I've done animated film, I've done TV, I've done video games, I've done cinematics, I've done and that's just because I applied everywhere because I was like, I just want a job, like I just need work more than like I want to try it all. I was just like, I'm not picky. I just want to learn stuff.
And not precious, yeah. I mean,
No.
it really says how much value there is to not being precious about it, especially when you're new in town. Because
you need it, and it's experience, and it builds your credit. You're reinvesting in yourself, because I didn't chase the money, as in the salary number, because I turned down some jobs that were higher paying a little bit to go to a place that was is that a sneeze?
That's easy sneezes. For those who don't know, there is a guinea pig about 12 feet from Ari, and he has a hay bag, and sometimes he sneezes. It's really cute.
Very, very cute.
He's so cute. There have been jokes that I should just call like the podcast instead of Discover Any Film, like, live from Chester's room or something. I don't know.
Jeff and Chester presents.
Jeff and Chester. If you only liked it. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Right. So you chose jobs. You were and I'm sure you were the type of person who showed how hard you're willing to work. And Lord knows, like when people meet someone like that in this town, when someone's not precious and like, oh, well, I'm really gifted. I only want to do,
Yeah.
I feel like I should start up here.
Yeah, it's ego.
So you
thing.
were appreciated, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm easy to work with. That's my best quality is it's a job. You need to work with others, and you can't just be the best artist. You can, but it's like there's like two different columns. It's like how good are you to work with, and how good are you? If you're really, really good, if you're 100 at skill and you're a 0 at easy to work with,
If you're an asshole, eventually people don't want to work with you.
Yeah, it catches up to you. You can get work if you're literally at the top percent. If you're 99 or 100 or 95, whatever, if you're up there, you can still find work. But it's really hard to be that good.
If you've made people money, maybe.
Yeah. It's and even then it still catches up to you. But, I'm like a 95, 99 on the other end where I'm like super chill, everyone likes me, and I don't complain, and I'm like I compare my skill to like I'm in the NBA. Like if I was a basketball player, I would be in the NBA. So I'd be one of the best players, but I'm on the bench. You might not know me.
You're that guy who is making all about practices, and then when they go down to the 8th player or 9th on that bench, you come in and people are like, "Hey, look, he can play."
Yeah, I'm good enough to be in the room. I'm not LeBron, like I'm not the star animator. I'm not the best animator. I never was, and I don't care. It's not my goal. My goal is to make. Yeah,
because animation has always been a means to an end for storytelling.
Yeah, so it's not something I really doubled down or really finally honed or practice as much. Like I do of course, but practice it, but. It's just not my strong suit. I'm more of a generalist. So I work in video games now. Video games is way more general. It's way more technical. You can't just know animation, the art. You also have to know how game engines work and how animations work within a game. It's completely different. And it suits me more. So that's kind of like my home, if you will. That fits my skill set the best. But you don't tell stories, really. At least as an animator in games.
There's a little crossover, but it's not.
There are
you certainly don't tell your own story unless you do a small game.
Right. Yeah. That goes for film. I've worked in film and games. I've worked on a bunch of Marvel films and stuff you would know, but either way, you're not really doing your own stories. You're executing on whatever is already there. But games, especially for what I did, I'm a gameplay animator. I don't know how much video games you play or know.
I'm familiar, but actually, I mean, no,
Have you heard of The Last of Us? That's like really popular on HBO.
Well, I know it was based on a
Yeah,
game, and I've been told that game's amazing.
Yeah, so I worked on the second one, and then I also worked on the remake of the first one. And the first one is one of my favorite games of all time. You probably might, if you saw the show, you kind of get the story. I would still recommend watching like the Last of Us One game movie or something, like YouTube of the game, because it's so good. But I worked on that and on both of those, and those are extremely cinematic games. They're insane. They're like films. But even working on even that isn't as creative in that way, because you're working on tiny little slivers and bits and pieces that kind of go into a bigger whole. You're part of a big team. Versus, you make your own film, make an indie game, indie film, you have control. It's a totally different thing. So, yeah.
And you mentioned, wow, so many things I could respond to, because you mentioned VR, all kinds of stuff. But,
rambled a lot. Yeah.
No, it's all good. And the whole way along that you're, doing lots of gigs and then working in animation and then working in video game animation. Mm-hmm. Are you always writing stories? Are you always ideas are always coming to you? And you got a Beastie Boys reference. Like they always talked about their little black book. Like they every time they get an idea, they write in a little black book. Like you just got a stack of ideas.
Yep, I've written 2 scripts. One, so I've like I said, I'm not that easy on myself. I've written once. Of all the things I've written, I have a script that I'm like, this is good. I like it a lot. I think it's awesome. I think it's really good. The other script, it's all right. Like the idea is okay, but it didn't go where I thought it would. I'm just not the best writer. Writing is an art form, and it is an art form that takes as much skill to master as animation, in my opinion. And I don't have that experience and time, and so I write just to get the ideas out, and then I could refine it later. Maybe I hire an editor, but the script I think is really solid. And then I wrote a book, like a fantasy book. Again, I think the ideas are good, but it could work, and then it could be better. And then now I'm writing a bunch of short stories to be like, okay, let me practice writing more. And
I assume all this writing was over the course of years. Like you don't write a book like you didn't just write it.
It took me like 2.5 years to write the book.
Yeah.
And then the script's probably like half a year each.
What was your opinion of the "It's Not For Me to Say" story script when it was on paper?
Yeah, that was actually a class assignment for a storyboarding class. So it was visual from the beginning.
At Noman.
At Noman, yeah. So that was really old. It was I came up with that 10 years ago, or maybe more, 11 years ago. So I had this idea for like an alien coming to Earth, and then when he gets there, due to the space time. So
I will share with you as well that I am a astrophysics fanboy.
Okay.
Like I'm one of those people who.
Which podcast do you listen to? Sean Carroll and.
Well, and actually, there's a Pluto TV channel that was 24 hours of Neil deGrasse Tyson's Star Talk.
Nice. Star Talk's another good one.
Can't get enough of Star Talk, honestly.
I'm a big science podcast guy.
So there's a lot of Fermi's paradox in your film. There's a lot of high-level thinking in it.
The film is about it's my answer to Fermi's paradox. That's the film. And so the answer is the answer is literally, it's not for me to say. That's the answer to the question, where are they, is the paradox. If the universe is so old and there was so much time for all these planets to form and have their lifespan before Earth, there should have been a life form that existed and hit a peak civilization before us. And if they did that, they should have expanded throughout the galaxy, and maybe we should see them, but we don't. We should see some evidence. I could get in that. That's a whole podcast on it. That's a whole thing.
What's the quote? I can't name the astrophysicist who said it, or I think it might have just been a physicist, right? Because a lot of these discussions were like...
Are you talking about it's Neil deGrasse Tyson, if you were to scoop up the ocean with a teaspoon or something?
No, a guy said a lack of evidence is not evidence of
absence. Absence of evidence.
Absence of evidence
Yeah,
is not evidence of absence.
Right. So that's a similar quote to Neil deGrasse Tyson's a quote, I think, where he's like, you wouldn't scoop up like a glass full of water from the ocean and be like, there's nothing here.
Yeah.
Right?
There's no
life.
fish.
Where are they? They're not here. It's like, because they're somewhere else.
One of the, I assume we don't have to worry about spoilers. I mean, one of the super cool things in your film is how it deals with, hibernation and time and the amount of time it takes to travel across space.
Yes.
And the idea that if we are intelligent,
I think we're pretty intelligent.
But Neil has that other argument that if imagine if you were aliens in a spaceship and you could bend space time and create your own wormholes, and if we went to a planet and we saw ants, would we just pass by? Because it's possible that we appear to be ants to whomever is doing all that, and they look at us and go, "Well, maybe we'll come back in a while."
Yeah, I mean that's what happens.
Like,
in the
why
film.
would they interact with us if we're as smart as ants are?
Right.
To them.
Yeah, that I put in the original storyboard. He sees an ant, and then he's like, he looks at it and he's like, I'll come back later. I ended up changing it, but yeah, it's a similar idea of there's just the scale of it is the reason. I think it's a very simple answer, is that, and I wrote it, it's the first line.
I mean, we've only been...
Right.
I mean, we're like...
Hasn't been long enough. It's been 100,000 years and maybe 15,000 of civilization or 50, 1,000.
We didn't even start writing things down until 5,000 years ago.
It's not been that long. So
if they visited 6,000 years ago...
Yeah.
Or 6,000 years from now, who knows what they'll see here.
Yeah. And the scale of the distance between things is so vast. And there's obviously, you can make an infinite amount of theories of like, you can, it could be possible to instantly travel between places. Who knows? Could be. But if we assume
you have to travel below the speed of light.
Right. And the closer you get, the harder it is to get there. So if you assume like some more normal-ish speed of like 1% or 0.5% or something, where it's like it might take, like in my film, it takes the character like thousands of years to get between.
It's 19,000 the last trip.
I think it's 19,000.
19 and change.
Yeah, exactly. You can round it up to 20. So it takes him 20,000 years to get to Earth.
Yeah,
and
because at that time his instruments were showing him the brain icon was green.
Yes. Right, so
which could have been us now.
Yeah,
during this podcast,
and that's what happens in the original storyboard. Is I ended up changing it, so it's not really much of a spoiler. But in the original version, you see a little like metal thing. It starts off with this little metal thing like flying into space, and that thing explodes and turns into like 100, and that explodes and turns into 10,000, and then further and further until they're all just going out across the galaxy, and those are little probes from some place you don't know where. And one of them lands on Earth, and then they see us now, and then it sends out a little beacon, and then it starts the film to show like, oh, we found it here. I cut it all because you literally just scope. Like if I were to make this with a real budget with lots of money and time, I would have put more information, I guess. But I just leave it up to like text and kind of subtle hints and stuff instead.
When you included you was it John Huston who said editing's easy, just cut out the boring stuff?
Yeah.
So they cut out the stuff that's not essential.
Yeah.
Not boring, it's just not essential.
Right.
Because the probe concept, of course. I was, hey,
maybe I
love the X-Files episode where like cockroaches were actually robots from outer space.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, they were like probes. They were like cockroach probes.
Okay.
Because if you're going to send a probe to another planet, actually a cockroach shape is size.
It's aerodynamic. It can turn into a ball.
Close to indestructible, yeah. And then it can gather data and send it back.
That's awesome. I don't remember that. I used to love that show, so I'm surprised I don't remember. That's cool. I should have done the roach. The main character is called Johnny. I should have made him look like a roach, I guess.
Oh, really? You consider the character as Johnny?
Well, he doesn't have a name in the film, obviously, but
for you he does.
Well, we have to make the film, so we have to refer to him as something. So I quickly called him Johnny because the song is by an artist called Johnny Mathis. So it's really just because the song, and that's the name of this. That's the name of the song. Is the name of the film, and there were certain lines of the song that like meshed well with like the theme.
And the tone, right?
The tone,
the mood.
Yeah. That was the original genesis of the film. Was that song? That was how it started. It's like a song I grew up listening to, and I was like, wow, I should do something with that at some point. And then I don't know, I heard it later in life, and I was like, oh, there's some lines of dialogue where it's kind of like evoking imagery of like looking out into the wasteland, or just out there, or like I wish I had you, or I don't know, longing or something. So I was like, okay, there's something there.
So wait, the song inspired the story itself, or you had the astrophysics?
They were just combined.
And you heard the song, and you're like, it was inspiration.
Yes, it's like hard to say which came first, but I've always been a science geek and like listening to science podcast. You know, the same sounds similar to you, where like I just like learning just random facts, I guess, like sciencey facts.
Yeah, we believe this stuff.
But yeah, so I don't know. I don't remember exactly when, but
it all came together for you, and with the song, inspired.
The song was like the key thing.
Music is so.
It's inspiring for sure. Yeah.
Heck, I remember John Hughes, the great John Hughes, was all about writing to music, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He did. Is he the 16 Candles and all that? Yeah.
16
Those
Candles,
are made
Breakfast
in Chicago.
Club, blah, blah, blah.
Those
Yes, he was
Chicago.
Mr. Chicago. Yeah, he would not, he refused to leave Chicago. All his stories, even Uncle Buck. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I only knew the two. I forget the other one. The other famous one he did. That was in Chicago.
Home Alone, I think.
It was Home Alone.
He wrote Home Alone, didn't he?
Yeah, I thought so.
I think so.
Home Alone is set in the suburbs of Chicago as well. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's a rock solid Chicago guy.
Yeah. And he made good stuff.
There's many. And we try to pull him out to LA because, why not?
Yeah.
Right, so, and by the way, so my question going way back when you were criticizing some of your story writing, and then you were praising like one that you've written. So it's not for me to say, when the song inspired you, did you write out a screenplay and then, or do you just start animating or testing things?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am a firm believer in like following the process, and that's script, storyboard, animatic, film. You don't skip steps because otherwise you waste money. And that's why, on another tangent, a lot of films nowadays, to go on a tangent, I used to work in the film industry as an animator, and I worked on all the Marvel movies, like Phase 2, if you're familiar. So I worked on like Thor 3 and Spider-Man 1 and Ant-Man and whatever. But they waste a lot of money because they make it up as they go. And it's really
change their mind.
They change stuff and
run it by a focus group and then rewrite.
Yes, and you know what's really expensive to do twice is visual effects. You can't. It's so expensive. Like paying people like me and our studio, it's a lot because there's so many people you need to make it look that good. So I don't know why. I mean, I don't know why they don't just do it the tried and true way. So for me, I never skip it. I always have a script, no matter what it is. So I probably have a script somewhere of the film.
Do you think it's because they can?
Yeah, for sure.
Actually, not too long ago on this podcast, one of our, amusingly, a filmmaker who had been in the festivals, I think 7 years previously, and then he'd worked as when he finished college. Yeah, a student film was in our festival, and then he got a job at Pixar as a PA and worked at Pixar and this and that. And we talked about why are the Pixar films better screenplays than Hollywood films? Like you'd think. And he said, because they have to be. Like they have to work out those scripts perfectly before they start animating. Yeah. And it's funny that Marvel doesn't say to themselves, we got to get the story perfally before we start doing VFX because... I don't know. But the answer is
there's egos involved. There's the we know what we're doing. We know better. And it works. That's a big one. You know, if you I don't know if you know about Iron Man, the first of the MCU. They were writing the script as the movie was being made. They were laying the tracks down.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you could look up interviews with Bridges and Robert Downey and whoever the scriptwriter was, and they're like, yeah, we were like rewriting stuff like throughout the film, and it became a massive hit, and then MCU spawned, and everything's great. So success makes people not question how
method.
they got there, the method, and it's like, no, that's not why it was successful. You just had lightning in a bottle. You had the best actor for the best role, and they made it work. But they could have made it better. And if they had followed, or maybe they could have.
Or it would have been more efficient, yeah.
It would have been
made
cheaper.
The same film
Yeah,
for less.
right.
Yeah. And I mean, needless to say, the origin story is always the best damn story anyway with superheroes. So,
Sure.
and Iron Man's got a good one.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I never skip the steps, and then any animation project I am ever aware of, you just can't wing it like that. You have to plan every shot. You have a finished film in animatic form. You do. The whole film was done. You could watch every Pixar movie probably with sketches and drawings and stuff, and then they make it. So they make it twice, and that's why it's so refined and so good. It's because they know what they're doing. And then within every moment, then you can riff. You could be like, okay, we have a scene where they're at the table and, the actor came up with a cool version. It's like, okay, but we know we're in this space. We know we're here in this room doing this for this amount of time. That's fine if you change within that. But to not have all those decisions made to get there, that's the part where you wasted money. Also, when you do big VFX heavy sequences, I was what's called a finals animator. So I would get an animatic that had something called previs. Have you ever heard, previs?
Go ahead and say
Pre-visualization. So they would animate it in 3D roughly.
Right.
Someone else would. So another animator before me would animate, for example, I worked on Spider-Man Homecoming, and I would get a shot of Spider-Man swinging and doing something. It would look really ugly and like rough, but it was purposely, like, it's not like they're bad animators. That's the point. The point is to do it quick and dirty because the director's working with them to try stuff. Because directors can't animate. They don't know anything about technology. They don't know anything. So they need to see it.
Right. They need to see a rough draft.
They need to see the rough
draft. So they
draft.
give feedback to the animators.
Yes. So they get their rough, and then they get an edit in. So that's actually like the next step. So there's animatic, then there's previs. I don't do previs because I'm an animator. I don't need it. But there's previs, and then it goes to the finals person, who is me. So I would get shots from animators, essentially, from a different company that would be like, okay, it's 2 to 5 seconds long. He enters from screen right. He goes here and blah, blah, blah. He jumps over that. I would have a rough timing. And then I make it look good. I polish and I animate on top. It's literally a video. It's not. There's no assets that I work with. It would be like looking at it on another monitor. So you really plan it all out because it's just so expensive. I've done previs as well. I used to do previs on a different film. It's called Call of the Wild, the book. I don't know if you remember the Call of the Wild. It's a book about dogs. They rescue people. I forget it's from the 50s or something. I don't know. Harrison Ford's in it. It's not a good movie. But anyways, so you have to plan the big budget, the big set pieces. But when you do an animated film, all of it's hard because you have to make all of it from scratch. You don't have to make, if you're starring in the next film, they don't make you, maybe they put makeup on you, but like you're you're free in a sense. They pay you, but in an animated film, everything has to be made, and it's painstaking, and so they plan everything, as far as I remember from when I was there. But yeah, so
you had those experiences. So I guess, and a question I should ask is, so as you're working and keeping busy with life,
yeah,
what makes you greenlight your own project? Like is because story and ability is ready, or?
Yeah, it's a combo of
do I have enough time? You are giving yourself...
Right. I had a second job.
A non-paying second full-time job.
Oh, for sure. It was literally... it is a job. I mean, I've always done that. Like I said, I just outwork people, I guess. So writing, I just do that after work. Like, I just find it fun. Like, I like making things. So,
which I gotta admit is impressive because a lot of people can do that For a while.
Right. It's been a long time.
Yeah,
So,
but you're keeping it up. So
yeah,
you really are.
I do enjoy it.
You are well aware that this is a marathon, not a sprint.
It is a marathon, yeah. So for the film, because a film is collaborative, like that's why I liked writing. I was like, I want to just try it because it's just me. I just sit down and I do it alone, right? So it's kind of freeing that way, but I'm a visual person, so it's kind of, I love reading. I read every day, but it's just not as fun for me to create. It's not as rewarding for me in that way. But to essentially greenlight something, I need to have enough people that want to work on it. So it has to be something doable. So when I have a lot of friends in the industry, so I'm running by them the new script now, and they signed off on it. And I basically am getting we're pseudo doing the producing part of it. We're like, how hard is it to do this? How are you going to do the simulation of the cloak? How are you going to rig her face? How are you going to do that? How are we going to do this? That's the stuff
you're really
I think about.
Breaking it down. Yeah.
Well, because we have to make everything. It would be like you being like, oh, I want to make a film about a murder, like some murder hunting someone down. Okay, where are we going to shoot it? Is this a SAG film? Do we have someone to do the props? Do we have camera? Do we have access to a good camera? All the practicals of getting it done, you have to kind of figure it out. We do that based off of our skill set and off of time, because we make it all. We're making everything. So we know that I can animate everything. We know that I now have a sound guy. He worked with me on the previous film, so he's down to work on the next one. So that's two big pieces. There's a certain amount of characters. Characters are a big problem, so you have to limit them. That's why a lot of just like in a live action film, why don't people just have 50 people on screen? Why? Because it's harder. You have to pay more people. It's harder. Everything's harder.
Just blocking it out
is blocking it, shooting it. It's all harder. So the same is the case in 3D. I have to make another character. I have to rig her or him, and it's just more work. So I found a script. I have a new script. It's pretty good, I think. I'll send it to you and see what you think of it. But it has not a lot of characters. A couple of them can be reused because it's it's from the back. You won't see that it's a different character. There might be a hood up. So, 5 characters is really just one. Stuff like that. So all that, it goes into how you greenlight something, I guess, for fun, a fun project. Your ability, your time, and the technology.
Right. And how much you and your collaborators are enthusiastic about the story.
Yeah.
Because obviously
it could be bad.
You have to be like, I really want to see this.
Yes.
And then your friends have to be like, I want to see it too.
Yes.
And again,
it has to be cool. It has to be fun. It has to be another thing. It has to be fun to work on. You could make something that's really awesome to watch, but maybe you don't want to make it yourself. I watch stuff and read stuff all the time that I don't want to make that. I just want to watch that. So it has to be both for us. So, cool. Most people that I've met want to make something, some kind of cool creature or some kind of cool setting, or, not New York present day, or Chicago present day. It's not as interesting for a 3D artist, right? Because you can just buy that asset. I can just buy a scan of New York or something, and there's really not a lot of skill. It might be just busy work for my friend to make that go in. He doesn't want to do that on his spare time. He wants to make something unique for him also. So you have to kind of give people little wins. Be like, hey, if you work on this, you're gonna get this cool shot. That's what we would get as an animator.
And he can give you feedback too.
Yeah,
exactly. He can give you, hey, I have an idea for this.
100%.
And if he said that to Sony, they might go, we're not asking you for your input.
100%. We don't get to do that. I mean, depends. But yeah, really.
Someone does.
Someone does. And sometimes we do, but it's rare. But yeah, for something like that's what's happening right now.
It's about creative input.
Yes,
and creativity.
Exactly. So
which is why festival runners like myself and many others see it and go, it's freaking great, because it was made for the right reasons.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not making money off of this film. It's not for that purpose. Like and I don't care. Like
I'm forgetting the running. Is it like about 8 minutes?
I think it's 8. Yeah.
It's about 8 minutes. Yeah. You didn't say to yourself, I'm going to make this 8-minute animated short and then I'm going to buy a great big mansion in the hills.
No.
It's like, no, I'm going to be proud of it and happy with it.
Right.
And does it, actually, I did want to ask, obviously, I bet your skill set's always improving still. You're not at my age where you start doing everything worse. Be aware it might happen.
Okay.
No, you got a good 20 years to go.
Okay.
But I mean, as your skill set, as other jobs, I'm sure improve your skill set. But then do your skill sets, you push yourself and like expand your skills even on your own projects? Or is it more like, I've learned how to do this, now I can use this on my next thing I do for myself?
So are you saying like I work on a job and that helps the film and the film helps the job type of thing? Or
is it a positive feedback loop, I guess is what I'm asking? Or?
I mean, it's practice. It's different. I'm actually in a more technical role at work, so I animate less. So it's a creative outlet. So it's a way to like keep my skills going and animate. So yeah, 100%. It keeps me like fresh and like on top of my animating
right, because the
ability.
the video game animation,
it's just so different. And right now, specifically right now, I'm just animating less. Like I'm actually not an animator currently, like technically, right now. That's a purposeful decision to learn more. Again, the learning theme. I'm learning the game engine stuff, but because of that, I'm doing less animating. That's just the trade-off. In order to keep animating and keeping that skill, I'm making stuff, making films and making my own stuff. So that's why this film, the new film, has more realistic. If I send you the script, you'll laugh. It's completely different. It's very, very different. It's much more adult. It's much more rated R, like violent. And the film that, as in your festival, very cute, very like family friendly, but sad, but it's very wholesome in a way, or like anyone could watch it. This is the opposite. So I was like, I just like trying different things, so that's another way to get your skills, like to continue honing your skills, is just variety. So
for sure.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you've hit a really nice right. I have this emotional need to think everything's going great for people. So, but you found it seems like you've had a really good groove where you've got the work, but then honestly, I just want to congratulate you on the fact that a lot of people, once you have a job that meets one's material needs, it's really easy to be less determined to create your own. So it's like
stagnate. Yeah.
And the fact that you have a film on the festival circuit right now and you're already prepping the next one, like that really does just show a lot of drive.
Yeah. I just, it's just the passion for making stuff. So if it was easy to do it, I would just do more of it, so I'm not going to use AI. So I'm not going to do that, but, maybe there's a way to do it easier, but I don't know. So far, it takes a while. So
yeah, I have yet to fuck around with AI myself.
Yeah.
Like I don't mean for animation. I mean for anything. Like I haven't even chatted with a chat bot yet because I don't know.
It's weird.
I'm not sure I need it.
I use it for technical things at work. Like I do visual programming. I'm not a programmer. That's why I asked so many questions where it's like I literally have to like connect things together. I'm like, well, how does this work? So I just ask that stuff, questions like that, not like more personal things like that. I don't do. I know You're people that
you have friends.
Yeah, I do. I don't need to.
There are humans in your. It's. I'm just going to assume it's better to interact with humans.
Yeah.
As complicated as we are and as annoying as we can be.
We're real.
We are real. There's a little value to that.
Yeah.
There still is value to that.
Yes.
I will confess, I've seen what's going on out there. And I do worry
Have
about...
you gotten submissions that have AI in them? Do you know?
Yeah.
Can you tell? Do they
You
say
can
that they have
tell.
AI?
Yes, most say they do.
Okay.
We have some jurors who are like vehemently anti.
Yeah.
But then also I have some friends who are visual artists who say, look, you know, I use the pro, you know, if I'm using After Effects, yeah, there's like it's another tool, but I can tell you there was one film in Filmvasion LA that actually did use AI.
Huh.
And it was about 3 minutes long, and it was out of Japan.
Okay.
And it was just gorgeous and like wonderfully done.
Yep.
And I had a couple jurors who were a little mad at me.
Was it animated also?
It was.
Okay.
But there were people and animals like a Japanese grandma and a goat like sitting there having udon in like a little...
Yeah. It's usually like a full shot or a medium shot, and they just stand there stationary and they look at you.
Yeah, and the camera swirls around them. Yeah, but it's not... But this one I felt had... I don't know.
Okay.
But there's another one that someone submitted that might get into the next festival, but then everything else has been really low quality.
Yeah, I don't
rule it out for being AI, but and some of our jurors do.
Bar. Okay.
But I think like there could be applications. And actually the one that I'm talking about that I'm in my head already preparing to defend to certain jurors.
Okay.
Actually, they use real people. Like, there's some AI effects in it.
Okay.
But then there's actual people shot.
Right. They're using it like a tool instead of a full creation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And believe me, it's pretty fucking funny, the films we get where there's like dialogue scenes where they just always show the listener. Because like you're saying, the AI, they can't sync lips, and it just looks horribly dubbed. So, like, I just like, you expect people to watch a 60-minute film where we never see a face speak, but we hear... it might have even been a feature length. I don't know. I shouldn't talk shit about submissions, but they're not going to listen to this, and I'm not naming it. I can't remember the name, but I've seen some pretty god-awful uses of AI.
Okay. Yeah,
I have.
I try not to follow it too closely because it directly impacts my industry and my job, but so far I don't think it's there yet. I've seen uses for it that are pretty good. Like, for example, keying out, like you make a clean plate for like a shot where you would like erase out the people, or you would erase out something in the background so that you can add new stuff in. That's something that someone does now. That's a job. But I've seen that used for that, like AI would do it, and it looks pretty good. So, there's uses for it, but that's not making the film. That's like taking something that is it's already created and, using it like a tool. That could be useful, but
could be, but who knows?
I don't know.
I don't pretend to be the arbiter. For now, I still feel there's value in having an open mind, but I don't know. Maybe I'll shut it at some point. Maybe. But people send us emails saying, "Do you accept films with AI?" And the answer is, we'll accept it.
Is it good?
but yeah, I mean, it's probably got to be better.
Yeah.
Than most easier. because it does have a little. It's got a knock against it. But as we'd say I think our pat response to them is depends how you used it. Depends.
That's fair.
Depends if it's good.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty against AI, so I think that's a fair way to put it. To be objective, but not like dismissive immediately. You're just like, all right, let's see what you got, and then we'll decide.
Yeah. Because who knows? Who knows when someone will? And honestly, I do think there might have been a shot or two. There was one super cool film. I don't know if you got to go to other. Just no. You only could go to your screening.
I saw mine.
Yeah. There was one where a cowboy, no explanation, but a cowboy in the Old West traveled time he got sucked like, whatever. Mm-hmm. It's not explained, but obviously he gets sucked to like downtown LA.
Okay.
Current day.
Live action?
From live action.
Okay.
But when he's going through whatever happened, whatever anomaly that he passed through, there was like a purple sort of nebula, and he was sort of walking along it. And I don't know if that was After Effects or AI, that nebula.
Okay.
But however this brilliant person they wrote a great story and they shot a thing downtown
Mm-hmm.
LA. You know, they shot it guerrilla style at
Nice.
4 a.m. when
Nice.
no one was around, but there's like, you know, a homeless extra because there's actual homeless guy on the bus stop as the cowboy
How did you
walks
get that
by.
extra? It looks so crazy.
Yeah, it was like, but I'm like, I'm not going to criticize that shot. If his purple nebula was made with
Right.
AI, he made the right choice.
That's fine.
Or if he had a friend who was like, oh yeah, it's funny because I guess I'm biased, not biased, but I know. Actually, the Filmvasion LA bumper that you saw that like had LA and all those. An animator in France made that for us. He was in our second edition in 2017. And we've had him 3 times, and he always flies out. And he's a brilliant animator.
Wow.
Hey, JM. Jean-Marie Marbach, I should name. He's
cool
actually
name.
But he's the kind of like he's an animator who like does Evian commercials and stuff for Dubai. Like he does really high end anime, and then he does his own. And he loves disco music, and he does music videos to indie disco artists and stuff.
That's
who he
badass.
loves. He just writes to him and goes, "This is who I
do-
am. I'd like to make a video for you."
Right.
And
That's
then-
awesome.
And then he budgets himself, but he made this beautiful film, and then all these people commented on it once it ended up on YouTube or Vimeo or whatever. And they're like, "Oh, he's just using After Effects plugins." And he's like, "No, I'm not." he's like saying
is
to me,
real.
he's like, "People think I'm using plugins. I could have, but I did it the hard way." And I'm like,
That's a compliment.
like how you,
It's
yeah,
a
right,
compliment.
right.
Yeah.
It is funny. So
Because no one knows how you do stuff, and if it's that good, it means, you did a good job.
yeah, his stuff is so good. But boy, he doesn't have time to be on a jury anymore. Oh well,
That's a shame.
I know, and he hasn't sent a music video for a few years. But I'll send you a link actually because
Sure.
you'll like his.
I'd like to see
he
it.
did an origami hummingbird
Oh, wow.
music video.
That's cool.
once. Yeah, it's rad. Anyway,
Dope idea.
I gotta admit, it's hard not to respect the animators more than everybody else. because
so much work.
Because you are a writer and a director and a producer.
Yeah.
Just like the writer, director, producer, something else. And
Yeah.
then
You're the actor in a
you're
way.
creating.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you are so many more roles.
Right.
Like I have to admit, like I don't think anyone would argue with me that like it's a little more impressive to see an animated indie short than it is. And by the way, I freaking love, we had a lo-fi black and white thing where I think it was Tomorrow's Criminals, and like I'm hoping to talk, that guy had to reschedule his podcast. But like it was a couple of young dudes in Brooklyn making the thing about like, they point guns at each other, a little Tarantino-esque, but it was freaking great.
Yeah.
Super lo-fi. Someone gets killed when a record player gets smashed over his head. Mm-hmm. Good stuff. Anyway.
I mean, it's not just because it's harder doesn't mean it's better. Like just
Agreed.
making an animated film isn't de facto better, but yeah, you can respect the skill or the time and the effort it goes into it. And I know for me, I love watching movies that are written and directed by the person, because I know it's closer to their vision versus it's amalgamation of written by this person and the studio wanted that, and that as bad as Shyamalan's movies are now or whatever, hit or miss, at least he's making what he wants it to be. Or a Nolan, there's just not a lot of like Eggers and Nolan and
you can tell when it was a committee and focus group to death.
Yeah.
And
So that I have, people respect. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. I don't know her music at all, but she does write her stuff as far as I understand. I don't know if that's true. But, singer-songwriter, usually more respected than the singer that just sings whatever they're given, because it's more.
You're backing me in a corner where I have to say there's Elvis on one side and the Beatles on the other, and one guy just ripped off other artists, and did other things.
Don't know.
I don't approve.
Yeah, who's better?
And another group was like, they literally created the idea that you can write all your own songs. Like no one wrote all their own songs before that, and
I didn't know that.
their first 3 to 4 albums were half covers because that's what the record company was demanding at the time. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then I believe A Hard Day's Night was the first LP ever where the band wrote all their own music, and it still made a lot of money.
And they're
And
like,
it created
"Damn, we
this
can do
idea
this."
that like, hey, maybe they should write all their own work.
Wow, I didn't know.
I'm a bit of a Beatle
Beetlehead.
guy. Yeah. I guess it's Beatlemaniac. You can't, whatever, you know.
Yeah, I'm not, but obviously they're amazing and everyone loves them, but and respects what they do.
I gotta admit, Yellow Submarine is one of the best 2D films I've ever seen. But
I've actually not seen the whole thing.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've only seen parts of it. Yep.
Who knows? Maybe it'll be like you'll be like, yeah, that's really dated, man.
No.
No.
I
Okay.
think I can judge it
it's
fairly.
very psychedelic,
Yeah,
obviously.
for sure. I mean,
And by
I
the
know
way,
what it
they
is.
deserve zero credit because
Well, they didn't animate
they
it,
had
but
nothing to do with it.
they're responsible for like the music and then like the creative
Yeah.
direction.
They didn't
and
even do
stuff.
their own voices.
Oh, okay.
Actors were hired
Wow.
to mimic them.
All right, well.
They were just busy doing their thing.
Okay, whatever.
But there was that. Whatever. All right, so I think we hit the point where I'm going to ask
Okay.
you about is website social. Oh,
I don't have social media.
You don't do social media.
I don't do social media.
Way to go!
Yeah.
I mean, you said you read every day.
I read every day. That's the opposite of social
After
media.
I quit social media, I didn't quit social media for that purpose. I quit it on a Monday, and Thursday I opened a book that had been on my nightstand for
Good for you.
a year or 3, and I've read like 3 books this year
Okay.
since quitting
Like
social
what?
media.
Anything good?
Really good. Well,
Okay.
I have friends who are in great book clubs. The Book of Form and Emptiness by
Never
Ruth
heard of that.
Ozeki. Oh my God, it was really good.
Sounds intense.
And then I just and that. Thank you, Devin.
Book club?
Yeah, Devin. Devin Brooke, great actor, and she also has got in like 2 or 3 book clubs. She's one of those amazing people who does something I can't, which is she can read 3 books at once.
Ooh, nah.
I can't.
I'm
do
one at
it.
a time.
Yeah, I'm one at a time too.
I'm a one book kind of guy.
And the last one was The 7 Moons of and then it's a Sri Lankan name. Fascinating sort of purgatory afterlife story set in Sri Lanka following
Fiction.
Hinduism.
Full of
yeah.
fiction, right?
Yeah, full fiction.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, full fiction.
That's cool.
And I'm forgetting the 3rd book. But they've all been good because at this point I don't gamble.
You just go off of the Rex.
I go off a rec
Okay.
I can trust.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if it's bad, you could just stop.
That is true.
You don't have to. I know the feeling though of like reading something and be like, oh man, I don't want to stop. I'm 100 pages in, but you can just stop.
You can. You can
just stop. You
And
don't
I
have to finish.
And I do read a lot of short stories. I do.
Okay.
I do have a book on the nightstand about this thick, and Ari is the only one who can see it. But it's like we're like talking like a 3-inch thick book that I bought in an airport.
Okay.
Because I'd forgotten my Kindle, and it's called The Best of the Best, and it's just some sci-fi fiction
I have
magazine.
one of those back home.
Yeah, and it's just like all these amazing short stories, sci-fi stories that blow my brain.
Yeah, I'll send you some of the ones I've written to see what you think.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I've got a couple. I think you'll like it.
There's been a really nice overlap actually between the filmmakers I meet through the festival and then get to know better on the podcast.
Yep.
And a very young dude, when he came over for the podcast, handed me his self-published book of short stories.
Oh,
and they were good.
nice.
Like I liked them a
Hell
lot.
yeah.
And then he wrote a novel and he sent me his novel and I was
Okay.
like, dude, I don't have to. But I actually threw it on the Kindle and I read it on a cruise.
Oh wow. Okay.
And I was like, holy shit, I really loved it.
Wow.
Drug
That's
addiction.
awesome.
I love a drug addiction novel. I gotta admit.
I don't think I've ever read any.
Oh.
I'm not a big. I don't seek that out. I mean, I've
don't
only
seek it
seen
out?
Requiem for
I've
a
just-
Dream and a couple others. Like
Oh, I'm an Infinite Jest guy. I don't know if you've heard of Infinite Jest.
I have, but I've never seen it or
Well,
read
it's
it.
just a
Sorry,
book. Yeah,
I
it's
never
just-
read it.
It's like
Yeah,
It's
I don't. I've heard
voluminous.
that it's like extremely dense and difficult to read, and
well, it's funny. I didn't find it difficult.
Oh.
I find it because David Foster Wallace was such a genius. As I read it, I've read it 3 times,
oh,
but I haven't read it for about 20 years. but I feel like I get smarter while reading it.
Oh, wow.
like it's like going to the gym for my brain, and I'm like,
That's how I feel about the book I'm reading now, just because every other word I don't know, and I have to look it up.
what book?
It's called The Shadow of the Torturer, and the series is called The Book of the New Sun. It's a sci-fi.
Should I add this to my list? Should I?
I don't know yet.
Right,
I
when you
don't
finish,
know
let me
yet.
know,
It's
'cause
very early. It's too hard.
As you can tell, I love sci-fi and and I actually, it's funny. I never really realized I liked fantasy.
Yeah, same.
And then N.K. Jemisin.
No.
She wrote the Broken Earth trilogy, which I
Okay.
think is one of the greatest things I've ever read.
Wow. Okay.
Oh my God. I kept reading it. It's one of those books when every
write
time
it
I'd
down.
finish a chapter, I'd close it and turn to my wife and go, "This book is so fucking good."
Is it new?
No, it's
Okay. Broken
about
Earth.
10 years old. But I believe she's the first writer in history that I think she wrote all 3 novels, the trilogy, and the publisher released them one year after another.
Okay.
And she won the Nebula Award 3 years in a row.
Whoa. Okay, so they have to be good.
Honestly, they do. I know it's like
You
not
can't.
like awards.
Well, yeah, you just can't win that award 3 times in a row by accident. It's really not possible.
Yeah.
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 Okay,
And she's,
I wrote it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it yet. Not because it
Yeah, you just-
seems
you're not far
solid.
enough
I'm
through,
just not
yeah.
far enough in. I think it'll be good though.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. We should stop talking about books.
Yes.
Because that could go another hour.
Yes.
And I want to name so many more books for you, but
You should do a book
better not
podcast.
to.
Book invasion.
I know.
Page invasion.
I don't have. I just suck though because I got so many films to watch all the time. As a juror,
good problem.
it is a good problem. I enjoy it. It is funny because depending on how current your favorites are in the next podcast,
Yep.
I may not have seen many because a decade of running 2 film festivals, and I don't bother with Hollywood stuff much anymore unless for it to filter to me, people got to see, you got to watch this, and then I'll watch it when it's streaming. 'Cause
Right.
I'll get out. I
Weapons.
mean, I'll go out for a Jordan Peele movie.
You watch Weapons?
Not yet, but I hear I have to see Weapons.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
And
I liked it.
And I've heard such good and bad things about Sinners that I kind of want to watch it just to have my own opinion.
I thought it was also good. There's some things. I'm a big. I have a saying. It's not my own saying, but I don't need something to be realistic, but I need it to be believable. So to me, you could have anything in a story. You can have magic. You can have aliens. But it needs to be internally consistent.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter if you have a lightning bolt that someone can spawn because that's not real. That's not realistic. But if in one scene they throw it, for example, in the Phantom Menace, I don't know why it's popping up in my head, the Jedi can run at the speed of light in one shot. There's just one shot where they run really, really fast, okay? And to dodge a lightning bolt laser beam. And then at the end of the movie, there's a scene where Obi-Wan is trying to save his master, and he has to run between these laser walls, but he doesn't run fast. It's okay. Kind of ruined the scene for me after I realized, oh, shit, he could have just used that fast run. And it's that to me is you didn't make it believable. It's still dope as hell, and I love that scene, but in retrospect, it doesn't really make sense that, stuff like that.
I'm with you 1,000,000,000% that you can create any universe you want, you can create any world you want, and just be true to it.
Yeah.
But as soon as you start breaking your own rules,
Right.
I'm out.
Yeah.
It
takes me out of it.
fast.
So Sinners has something like that where I was it's not even that important, but I was just that was weird. I didn't like that. It's really cool. It's really different and interesting. And it has a really awesome villain, and his motivation is very good. And I just wanted more of that. I was I want him to be as big of a main character as one of the other ones, just because it was so dope. Maybe do a prequel or something. I don't know, or a sequel, whatever. No spoilers. But but yeah.
Honestly, I'm happy about one thing, which is if I ever do take the time to watch it,
Yeah.
I'll walk into it with expectations that are mixed at best.
Yeah,
Right?
so you're still in the
so
middle.
At least because if I'd seen it when people were saying, "Oh, you got to see it,"
Yeah.
then you're often disappointed.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Expectations are too
and
high.
I'll just share that if you ever watch the Star Wars series with a kid,
Yeah.
I watched them with my kid.
Still good?
when George Lucas gets really, or the people he hires to write for him get really lazy with the storylines, like you're mentioning, like inconsistencies and stuff. When an 8-year-old turns to you and goes, "Wait, why did that happen?" It really sucks to have to say to her, because George Lucas doesn't care about story. Like, you're actually right. You're 8, and you know that shouldn't have happened.
Oof.
Like, you're right. That didn't make sense. And it's because they didn't give a fuck, because they just wanted to do that special effect. Because someone said,
a cool thing.
We could do this cool thing.
Right.
Put it in the film.
Yeah.
Can you give me this? And man, this 8-year-old was sniffing it all out.
Damn.
I made her binge the first 6 before The Force Awakens.
Okay.
I had her binge it with me.
I wonder
and she got into it. She liked it.
Do they hold up? Because I know the first one is... It's even for me, like, I can't watch Star Wars, not Episode 1, but Star Wars.
Star Wars episode, the one
like
that I
Episode
call Star
4.
Wars because it is not Episode 4. When I saw
it's Star Wars.
When I was 9 years old in
It's
1977,
just Star Wars.
It was Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars to me.
Well, for me, it's
too
perfect.
Old. I can't. But Empire Strikes Back is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Interesting. See, we get along, but we're not on Star Wars.
It's all good. It's
all
not
good.
My favorite series
it's
either.
All fine.
It just happens to have
honestly,
the one
it's
movie
not.
that for me is like so good, and then the rest I'm like, I don't really,
I'm happy to say that I think Rogue One is better than all of them.
Interesting. I don't remember it enough.
And then Andor, which is the prequel to Rogue One. I gotta watch
that. I heard it's really good.
Is the
so
those are
like
the two best things in the Star
ever.
Wars universe. Yeah.
Okay, so they need to go deeper into like the grittier realism, maybe.
There's no, there's
no force.
There's no midichlorians.
Oh, midichlorians aren't real. That's BS.
Oh, when they just checked Anakin's blood and said, "Oh, your
power level."
Oh, wow! I thought it was about training and this and that.
Yeah.
I remember when Yoda tested Luke's blood.
Yeah.
Oh no! Wait, he didn't.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. It's lame.
At least they didn't go back and like digitally have like Yoda like prick Luke's finger and go, I taste midichlorians.
I mean, he's done a lot of other things. Like he added like that. He retroactively changed the movies a lot, but whatever. Yeah, he could have been worse.
Right before we wrap this up, I'll just admit that I was the nerd whose friend had a Laserdisc player with the original theatrical version of Star Wars on Laserdisc.
Okay. It's probably worth a lot now.
I used a high 8 camera that had a FireWire port to suck it into my computer.
That's amazing.
To have the original version, and I lost it with a hard drive crash.
Damn.
Because
that would
honestly,
be
all
worth
the little
something
digital
now.
changes, I despise.
Yeah.
I didn't need it to be cleaner and prettier.
Maybe you could find the VHS, like the old VHSs.
I think you can find the VHS.
Because I had those. That was what I had growing up. The box set of VHSs.
Before the
97 or 98.
97s,
Something like that. Yeah.
Before they just said, let's just have little... And they made it really sharp digital things like
that was the tech at the time.
Analog look.
It's
just...
Agreed.
That
Don't mess with it.
And yeah. So you're saying that in E.T. they shouldn't have turned the guns into walkie-talkies?
Spielberg doesn't do that. He doesn't go back and edit his stuff. He just makes the movie and he moves on. He doesn't touch.
No, then they re-released. They
did that.
They did that. They
what?
They put They digitally removed guns from government guys' hands and put walkie-talkies.
I thought you were kidding.
Because Spielberg didn't want the guns in there for like the 20th anniversary.
I literally thought you were joking.
I wasn't joking.
That's crazy. And I look like a fool because I was like, Spielberg doesn't go.
No, it's good that you don't know. It's good that you don't know because
yeah, reputation shattered.
Because you probably were young enough to not have caught when that travesty happened. South Park did they made fun of it.
Oh, wow.
They made fun of it, and they just had all these guys pointing walkie-talkies at each other like guns.
That's hilarious.
All right, now we're just riffing.
Yeah.
All right. Website, though?
You can just search my name and find my, I guess, ArtStation. I don't have a personal site right now. I will make one.
Well, you don't have to.
I know.
You don't have to.
I know.
Look, I was going to be the podcaster dude who was going to go, that'll be a clickable link in the show notes. But now the only clickable links in the show notes will be what I'm about to rattle off.
Yes.
Which is, first of all, thank you, Ari, for being on the Discover Indie Film podcast. If people want to learn, I better put on the glasses so I don't forget something. if you want to learn more about the podcast, go to discoverindiefilm.com. On social media, it's always at DIFwins. As I implied, I've quit social media, but I am on Blue Sky because that's like, there's no one on there, so it doesn't occupy my time and waste my life with an algorithm. So, but the wonderful podcast producer Karina Wolf checks the social media. So just go to @DIFwins on social media. Like and subscribe. Be nice. That's discoverindiefilm.com. If you go to discoverindiefilm.org, that is the nonprofit that runs Film Invasion Los Angeles and Sherman Oaks Film Festival. Learn more about that. You know, it's nice to support nonprofits that support independent artists. I did mention that Ari's film was at Film Invasion Los Angeles. We hold that every June. We just wrapped up the 10th anniversary. You can learn more at filminvasionla.com, and it's at Film Invasion LA on social media. Sherman Oaks Film Festival is every December. We're about to have the 10th one. Ooh, December's coming too soon for me.
I don't know if I submitted to that. I should. I don't know if it's too late.
It's too late, but actually, well, I'll tell you why you didn't have it.
Anyways.
Yeah. ShermanOaksFF.com, at ShermanOaksFF on social media. Once again, if you write to @ShermanOaksFF on Blue Sky, I'll be the one who responds. But guess what? No one's written to me on Blue Sky. It just hasn't happened. I don't even know why I'm on there. But and lastly, I'll mention that I call those two sister festivals. They're getting a cousin next year. In January 2026, Film Invasion Lima, Peru is launching.
Awesome.
And yeah, my Google flight tracker for the flight to Lima I just saw low price. I gotta
get on that.
It's not nonstop, but my wife wants to go with me. 2 plane tickets. I think we got to stop somewhere. All right, Ari, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.
And thank you, everyone, for listening.